What if I told you that Hollywood's most powerful women weren't just ruling the screen, they were rewriting the rules of love? While the whole world told them to settle down, age gracefully, and date appropriately, these women looked society dead in the eye and said no. These are the golden age actresses who chose younger men and made absolutely no apologies for it. Before we get into it, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. I genuinely love connecting with classic Hollywood fans and vintage culture lovers from all over the world. Now let's get into the stories they didn't teach you in film school. 10. Joan Fontaine, the quiet revolutionary. She was the picture of elegance. Hitchcock made her a star in Rebecca and Suspicion, and Joan Fontaine carried herself with a poise that made Hollywood take notice. But behind that composed exterior was a woman who lived entirely on her own terms. In 1946, Fontaine married William Dozier, a television producer who was 7 years younger than her. No scandal, no tabloid war, just a quiet, dignified marriage that lasted 5 years and said everything without saying a word. Because here's what made Fontaine remarkable. She didn't need the drama to make a statement. Her choice alone was the statement. In a culture that quietly pressured actresses to only date older, more powerful men, Fontaine simply didn't. She once said that love and companionship mattered at any age, and she refused to let cultural stigma decide her happiness. Soft-spoken, unshakable, quietly revolutionary. 9. Rita Hworth, the tragic star who loved fearlessly. Rita Hworth was the love goddess of the 1940s. On screen, she was magnetic. Off-screen, she was searching for stability, for peace, for someone who saw her, not just the image. In 1958, at 40, Hworth married James Hill, a film producer 6 years her junior. It wasn't a headline-chasing move. It was a genuine attempt at happiness at a time when the industry had started whispering that she was past her prime. She wasn't. Their 6-year marriage was private and imperfect, marked by health struggles and career pressures, but it was real. And in a Hollywood that constantly told aging women to disappear, Rita Hworth's choice to love, openly, vulnerably, and on her timeline, was nothing short of brave. She didn't choose a younger man to prove a point. She chose him because she wanted to, and that's the whole point. 8. Joan Crawford, the star who took control of everything, including love. Joan Crawford didn't do anything halfway. Not her career, not her image, and certainly not her relationships. Born in 1904, Crawford married Douglas Fairbanks Jr. in 1929. She was 25, he was 20. Hollywood watched with wide eyes because even a 5-year age gap, woman older, was enough to raise eyebrows back then. But Crawford didn't flinch. She was already one of the most recognizable faces in film, and she wasn't about to shrink herself for anyone. Their 4-year marriage ended in 1933 as both chased their individual ambitions, but what it revealed about Crawford was unforgettable. She would not play the submissive role. Not on screen, not at home, not anywhere. Hollywood observers noted that Crawford commanded every room she entered, and her relationships were no exception. She wasn't just a woman dating a younger man. She was a woman redefining what power in a relationship could look like. Joan Crawford's legacy isn't just about the films, it's about the refusal to be diminished by age, by expectation, or by anyone else's script. 7. Bette Davis, the woman who said age is no place for sissies. If Joan Crawford were in control, Bette Davis was fired. Born in 1908, Davis was already a legend when she married actor Gary Merrill in 1950, a man 8 years her junior. And she didn't whisper about it, she owned it. Their decade-long marriage was passionate, turbulent, and deeply human. Davis was fiercely proud to stand beside a younger man in an era when women were expected to quietly fade. She didn't fade, she burned brighter. The public largely admired her boldness, and Hollywood colleagues respected the partnership, noting that Davison's formidable career and unshakable confidence made any talk of an age gap irrelevant. She famously said, "Old age is no place for sissies," and she meant every word. Bette Davis didn't just challenge ageism, she made ageism look small by comparison. 5. Zaza Gabbor. 9 marriages, 0 apologies. Nobody, and I mean nobody, lived louder than Zaza Gabbor. Born in 1917 in Budapest, Gabbor became Hollywood's most glamorous provocateur. 9 marriages, countless headlines, and an absolute refusal to let anyone tell her who to love or when to stop. Her most iconic relationship? Prince Frederick von Anhalt, 26 years her junior, whom she married in 1986 at age 69. They stayed married until her death in 2016, over 3 decades together. Critics called it theater, Gabbor called it love. She famously quipped, "I am a marvelous housekeeper. Every time I leave a man, I keep his house." That's the thing about Zaza. She knew exactly what people were saying about her, and she found it hilarious. Her relationships with younger men weren't a crisis of self-esteem or a desperate grasp at youth. They were an expression of a woman who simply refused to be boxed in. Glamorous, defiant, unforgettable. 5. Ava Gardner, the sultry star who said, "I want to live now." Ava Gardner was dangerous in the best possible way. Born in 1922, Gardner had a smoky intensity that translated both on screen and in her personal life. She didn't date younger men strategically, she dated them because she wanted to, because life was short and she intended to fill every second of it. Her most famous relationship was with Frank Sinatra, 2 years her junior, whom she married in 1951. Their union was electric, volatile, and completely captivating to the public. 2 superstars, equally matched, equally unstable, and deeply, genuinely in love. The tabloids are obsessed. Hollywood whispered. Gardner didn't care. She also had relationships with other younger men throughout her life, always choosing partners who could match her fire rather than dim it. Her philosophy was simple. I want to live and live now. No waiting, no shrinking, no expiration date on passion. Ava Gardner was proof that desire doesn't age, and neither does the courage to pursue it. 4. Marlene Dietrich, the enigma who preferred youth and mystery. Marlene Dietrich was never fully knowable, and she preferred it that way. Born in 1901, this German-American actress and singer was the definition of timeless sophistication. Dietrich wore tuxedos when women weren't supposed to. She seduced audiences of all genders. She said what she wanted and lived how she pleased. Her preference for younger men was an open secret in Hollywood. The most whispered about? A deep connection with John Wayne, 14 years her junior, during the 1940s and 50s, which neither ever fully confirmed or denied, which somehow made it more legendary. Dietrich carried her romance with youth the same way she carried everything else, with absolute, unshakable confidence. While other actresses retreated from the spotlight as they aged, Dietrich seemed to grow more magnetic. Her philosophy? Essentially, I don't need your permission to be desired, and Hollywood, try as it might, couldn't argue with her. 3. Carole Lombard, the queen of comedy who loved without limits. Carole Lombard was joy made human. Born in 1908, Lombard was Hollywood's reigning queen of screwball comedy, sharp, warm, and so effortlessly charming that audiences couldn't look away. Her personal life carried that same energy, bold, unscripted, and completely her own. Her most celebrated relationship was with Clark Gable, America's sweetheart and its biggest male star, whom she married in 1939. Gable was 2 years her junior, and the public adored them. Fans called them Carol and Clark. Hollywood called them the perfect match. But what often gets overlooked is that Lombard consistently gravitated toward men who matched her energy rather than outranked her status. including a notable connection with actor William Powell, her equal in wit and intensity. Lombard was the rare woman in 1930s Hollywood who could be the funniest person in the room and the most powerful, and her relationships reflected that. She wasn't looking for someone to lead her, she was looking for someone to keep up. Tragically, her life was cut short in a plane crash in 1942 at just 33 years old. But her legacy endures, a woman who loved fearlessly, laughed loudly, and never once dimmed her light for anyone. Number 2. Gloria Swanson, silent film's most powerful woman, and why she chose younger. Gloria Swanson didn't just act in silent films, she ran them. Born in 1999, Swanson was one of the first Hollywood power players, controlling her productions, managing her image, and refusing to be anyone's passive muse. So, when it came to love, you already know she wasn't going to let anyone else write the story. In 1945, at 46, Swanson began a relationship with William Dufty, a 32-year-old writer and journalist, 14 years her junior. Hollywood noticed. Swanson didn't blink. What made their relationship extraordinary wasn't the age gap, it was what it represented. Dufty wasn't a trophy or an accessory, he was a genuine intellectual partner who collaborated with Swanson on her autobiography and her health advocacy work. They were equals, they were collaborators, they were in love. In her 1980 autobiography, Swanson was refreshingly candid. Men her own age, she explained, wanted her to diminish herself. Younger partners celebrated what she had built. That one sentence says everything. Swanson's story isn't about chasing youth, it's about choosing people who see your value and refusing to settle for anything less. Their relationship lasted until her death in 1983, nearly 4 decades. Number 1. Mae West, the woman who broke every rule and wrote new ones. If this list has a queen, her name is Mae West. Born in 1893, West was the most audacious, boundary-obliterating force in early Hollywood. She wrote her own scripts, she fought censorship boards, she made double entendres an art form. And she did all of it while openly, joyfully, unapologetically pursuing younger men. Her most notable relationship was with George Raft, an actor and singer nearly 15 years her junior. Their affair lit up the early 1930s press, with West in her late 30s and Raft in his early 20s. It was never a marriage, but it was absolutely a moment. Conservative critics were scandalized, her fans were electrified. West, of course, was delighted. Because Mae West understood something that took the rest of Hollywood decades to figure out. Attention is power. Controversy isn't something to hide from, it's something to use. She once said, and I'm paraphrasing here because even cleaned up, it's bold, that she liked her men the way she liked everything in life, on her terms. Mae West's legacy isn't just feminist history, it's a blueprint. Be confident, be bold, know your value, never apologize for wanting what you want. And if the world can't handle it, give them something even more to talk about. These 10 women didn't just have interesting love lives, they were rewriting the culture while the cameras were still rolling. They pushed back against ageism, double standards, and the suffocating expectations placed on women in the spotlight, not with speeches, but with the quiet, powerful act of living how they chose. If you made it this far, thank you genuinely. Drop a comment telling me which of these women surprised you the most. And if you love deep dives into classic Hollywood history, hit subscribe. There's so much more where this came from.